What's going on, guys? Matt here, service industry coach, and I hope this video helps you inside of your home service business. The whole point of this channel is to help you avoid mistakes that I have made and to help you grow and systemize your home service company. If you like this video and you find value in it, hit the subscribe button right now so you can see other videos just like it when they get uploaded. So today is something I want to talk about, and it's something that I have done not once but twice. And I've learned my lesson the second time of doing this, and this is an employee video. So even if you don't have employees, don't click off this. This is very important to learn. And the question is A, should I be friends with my employees? And if the answer is no, then where does that line kind of ride, and where do you draw the line in the sand, and how does the whole thing work, right? How does the whole employee thing work as far as wanting to be a good boss but also not being their friend, but making sure that they respect you but also wanting good company culture? Okay. And me growing up and building my home service business at a pretty young age, we took on our first employee. I believe I was 23 or 24 years old. So I was a pretty young guy. I know nothing about leadership. I've never had an employee in my life. And long story short is I'm just a super nice guy naturally. And so I struggle with two things. I struggle with disciplining people, and I struggle with always thinking that if I do correct somebody, I'm going to hurt their feelings. And so this is something that I've struggled with my entire life, honestly, especially as I've owned businesses. And it's really, really hurt me, because the older I get and the more lessons I've learned in business, you begin to realize that when you are correcting employees or giving them guidance, you're not doing it out of hurting their feelings, and you can't be worried about hurting an employee's feelings, because at the end of the day, what you're telling them and what you're teaching them is actually going to make them a better person, a better employee, and give them a skill set that even if they're not in your business forever, they're going to be able to carry on with them. Now, if that person gets offended or mad at you, that's on them. But that took me a really long time to learn. And so for me, should you be friends with your employees? The first answer is just no. But where is that line where, well, I want my employees to like me still, and I want them to enjoy working for us here at our company, but I don't want to be their friend. And so let me kind of give you a little insight. My home service business, I did this, and in my e-commerce business, I did this. And in my e-commerce business, it was a little different because we went from 0 to 25 employees in our first year. Literally, our first calendar year, we had 25 employees, and we started at 0. Now, we only hire veterans in my e-commerce brand, and I'm telling you what, guys, the guys that we had on staff at that time, they were awesome. They were cool dudes. Like, a lot of them I would have hung out with outside of work. And because we were building that business from the ground up, like literally it didn't exist a couple months before they were hired on, it was like we were all building this thing together, and it was powerful. We had momentum, and we had great company culture. But what I didn't realize was these guys became my friends rather than my staff members. And when times would get hard, or when we would have to make corrections, they wouldn't do well with that direction, because now they're getting direction from a friend rather than a boss, right? And so I had to learn the hard way that hey, I can like these guys, I can be a great boss and a great person towards them, but from the get-go, I have to put my emotions aside. These guys are not my friends, they're our employees. And that doesn't mean they're not good people or they're less than. It just means that I have to treat this relationship different than I treat my friend relationships outside of work. Because if I don't, I know that down the road it will implode when any correction has to take place. And so here's what I would encourage you to do. Find the fine line of being the guy that your employees enjoy working for, but they also respect at a high level. And you can do that in two ways. You can do that in helping them become a better person and get better skill sets under their belt. And then you can also do that by leading by example, working harder than them, being the guy that they look up to. Like, a lot of your employees, let's just be honest, they're not going to be with you forever. So can you be the guy that they talk about 5, 10, 20 years from now, where they say, man, I worked for this one guy once when I was a young guy or whatever, and he taught me X, X, and X, and that's what helped me get to Y. right? If you can do that in a person's life, the legacy that you'll leave behind for those people that work for you is massive compared to being their friend and being scared to offend them. And I'm just going to tell you, being an employer is hard. There's no perfect solution. We're dealing with people. Every person has a different personality. They have feelings. Everyone's feelings get hurt, easier or harder than others. And it's really, really hard to navigate. But all I can say is this: stay true to who you are. Don't become friends with your employees. Give them direction. Give them good skill sets. Lead by example. And when you do that, 8 out of 10 times, it's going to be good and it's going to turn out well. And those other 2 bad apples, they were going to turn out bad regardless of how you treated them. So I hope this encourages you. Drop a comment below and make sure you subscribe to the video. We'll see you on the next video.